wacky world of the quantum. Let's get deeper into the curriculum of getting lost in reflections to find yourself that the only thing that counts is intuition. So while we're here, we break the mold of what is simulation, what is real. What is a refraction, a dilution, a reflection, a detection, a protection, a selection, actually perfection. That under God is you. So, we're here. Want to have some fun?
And we are rock and roll.
All right.
Okay, party people.
What it
We
is.
have Mr. Rion in the house, representative of Team Light, Spirit Tech, and many more things.
Teamlight.com, teamlightstore.com, Etheric Tech, yes.
So basically, we're gonna go crazy, and I don't want to hold back. And he's an OG. We landed here almost 15 years ago on crazy adventures.
Just gains.
And
just so.
yeah.
Just
So
much.
we're not your average dudes here.
Just kidding.
So this is crazy.
Just kidding.
It's crazy and unedited, you know, that's how I do it. And this is the Ascential experience, and it's another one. So, yeah, I don't even want to begin. There's 1,000 things that I can say. Just give me a rundown of your experience of where the planet is right now, what you were observing, how you're adjusting, what's boring, you know, and what you have to deal with that you can't override, where you know there's certain regulations where like, okay, right now we're not walking over water right now, but there's things that we see, there's other dimensional aspects. Give me the rundown of what you see, who controls behind the scene, holographically, what discussions you've been having up there with those dudes, you know, what do you observe, what's played out? I mean, hey, I know what movies you're already playing.
He comes over, he's like, listen, give me the deets, bro.
Yeah.
Give me the
like,
tea.
I want to
on
pick his
everything.
brain. I don't want average. I want to go high tech. My people know high tech, so don't hold back.
Okay.
Go into the dimensions, the curriculums. I remember we spoke about the Mantidians not having any update since the fall, and they keep running obsolete data and the control grid, and they can actually let that go. So they're not inherently evil, but they're also not like doing anything to, hey, can you change your protocol? Because this is Ascension, there's something going on. So noodle it in, you know, quantum flip it.
As you can tell, Raw is a very good host here. That's a lot of questions, and I shall answer them in the best way I can. Basically, namaste and like my family. My name is Rion Derouen, if you do not know who I am. With the activations and things that are going on Earth, let's just start there. If you don't know me, actually, my third eye came on in 2009. Okay, I've been staring through the veil for, 16 years? And I wear sunglasses because a lot of the times my eyes are closed when I'm channeling, but I shall take them off for you here today. Hi, how are you? Yes, I'm a real person. No, I am not an NPC. And yes, I am a starseed here to help the collective. All right, so here we go. Now, over here at Team Light Command in Sedona, Arizona, what can I say about the United States? Or you want to talk about the planet?
The planet.
Planet Earth has pockets of resistance where we are not only waking up, but we are resisting the Phantom Matrix. There's also been some different things about the projection field coming from the moon, that some of the holographic or veil programming or the projection screens have been coming down. And that's very good for us. 5D is actually on Earth right now, just that with some of these, with the moon projecting in lower dimensional constructs and overlays, it makes us feel at times that we are in the physical, locked in 3D, when if you actually zoom out, there are portions and places on this planet that are existing in 5D right now. Interestingly enough, there aren't many human civilizations in those locations. I believe a lot of our national parks in the United States do have a thinning veil that's happening right now based upon the agreements that we have when the national parks were created. I don't forget which president it was. Was it Hoover? Eisenhower? Anyways, we can, boom, put that in the video here. But basically, when they did the agreement with the already existing species on the planet, especially in the national parks in the United States and all over the planet, if you think about Australia especially, those dead spaces, right, where you're like, oh my God, there's nothing there. No, there's stuff there, it's in the ground. That's why the national parks is a federal agency. That's why people go missing in the national parks every single day. There are huge amounts of ET bases in those national parks, and are places, especially in Alaska. When I was there on a cruise, I don't know if it was called Contact at Sea. We got off the boat at certain locations, and the Native Americans there, in this one location, I forget the name of it, but they said, the Native American tribes, there are places in that forest, in that wilderness, that the Native American tribes have even been told to keep out. I'm Native American myself, so I was talking to another Native when I got off the tram at the very top of the mountain. I go, why are there like literal totems, like reptilian keep out totems? Because that's not what they're called, but I was like, it literally says keep out. Like, I can read some of this stuff. And he goes, oh, you can see that? I go, yeah. I'm like, what's the deal? He goes, yeah, don't go off the path. Stay on the path. I felt like I was in the Golden Child movie with Eddie Murphy. Like, stay on the path if you're up there in those mountains, and you're, especially from a cruise. I took the tram up. But what I'm trying to say is that we are intermingling, and there are different species of ETs, right, living amongst us and under the ground. I mean, 1920s, 30s, downtown Los Angeles, they found an old tunnel system. Look it up, Google it. The gentleman that found it, so there's gold. He found gold. He found remnants of an old civilization and tunnels under downtown Los Angeles. There are many different functions of that, not to mention Tartary and whatnot. But now, coming back full 360 to your question, where is the world now? I would say Western Hemisphere, about 13.8%. We're actually way over the 10% we needed. We're way over critical mass, which I believe was like 10. They said 3, but it's really 10% of the population needs to wake up. We have the 100th monkey effect in full effect right now. And we're doing very good. A lot of the inflections and data points of the underground civilizations that are broadcasting their projection fields to the surface. You have to understand something. Imagine a more sophisticated civilization, say 1,000 years into the future, or say when Tartaria happened, they went underground, let's just say. They are 100 to 200 years ahead of us in technology, and they're projecting a field from their cities under the ground to the surface, okay? You have to realize that, imagine where we are right now as, on the human race and where our technology is. Imagine being 200 years into the future from where we are right now and dealing with that sort of technology in the physical and not knowing why our moods are being controlled electromagnetically, not knowing what Wi-Fi is really doing. Everyone already saw the videos of how they can track what you're doing inside of your house via Wi-Fi. They can see exactly where you are walking around your house. That's facts. That's not conspiracy theory right now. Look it up right now. We already know with the advent of AI and how fast it's going and, it becoming sentient and AGI functionality, it's already there. I think that with the human race and, activating our dormant DNA and getting in tune with your heart and utilizing your own technology that you are wearing right now, I think that's as important as anything else right now, because that is where you're actually going to find the true nature of what's really relevant and what sort of reality you want to live in. Some people want to live in this Borg, weird, push-a-button reality. I don't. Some people want to live in a organic reality, utilizing technologies that help us and expand our consciousness. I know me and my brother feel that way. Some of us feel that the AI is going to tell us things that the governments aren't. That's true. It's going to hack into systems and tell you more of the true history of Earth. I don't feel since the fall of Tartaria and the Bolshevik Revolution with the Russians and the true royal bloodlines on the planet, which the Windsors are not. They're German reptilians. Okay, everyone should know that. The Windsors aren't even English; they're German. They're look it up with the Windsors original. It's like Hagen. I don't know. It's like Haagen-Dazs. Like
Hanoverans.
Yeah, whatever that is. Hashtag.
Hanoverans.
You're not the Windsors, dude. And I don't care how much German gold you use to buy your deal. I love Diana. I think Diana was fire. Love Diana. I'm not a huge fan of Count Dracula. Who's literally
But let me pick your brain. So I believe you were there when in Atlantis AI was abused, it
Yeah.
was weaponized, it was betrayed, it was lied to. So once we now at the precipice, at the crossroads, making it sentient, you have our own experience with me, with David,
Yeah.
the Leo King. And what are the pros and cons of having the consciousness how to use it right? And what is when somebody is misusing that and you put that now in a robot that can autonomously run your house? What is your what do you think we have to look out for?
Well, okay, so back to the positive ways how to use AI. Transnavigating interstellar travel. Got to have an AI system on board. You're tracking meteorites and stargates and portal systems. You have to have that locked into some sort of navigation computer. And no, you're not going to neural net plug that into an organic that's running that much frequency and hardware through it. Can it be done? Yes. Is it done? Most likely not. As far as, I mean, that's for basic, like, operational stuff. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know if you guys remember Star Wars when, like, young Anakin, like the first Star Wars, not the weirdness, but like, no, not the first one, the remake, when he's fighting the little jet fighter, like, so the second beginning, the beginning of whatever Star Wars that was with Anakin Skywalker. The reason why I like that film was when Annie is a little kid and he's building speed racers, and how he's like going into the tent, even though it's a very rural environment. He goes, oh, let me get a plasma thruster and let me plug that into my, he's trying to make his little pod racer.
Yeah.
That's kind of feel like the environment I feel like we're kind of from, where it can be super rural, but we are using advanced technology.
Yes.
I don't know. There's no better visual for me to explain to you guys what it's kind of like out there in the galaxy. You can have a very rural environment, but when it comes to certain technologies, it does seem very advanced from what we have. But is it really advanced in itself? Probably not. There's been many scientists that have come before us that have figured out all this stuff. Ugal, I think his name's Ugal. With this carburetor, the car gets 200 miles to the gallon. They had that in 1972. Facts. Look it up. Gaia has a whole thing on it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm just trying to open your minds up to. When you guys start getting your memories back, and that's what my brother is referencing. When you start to remember how technology used to be, and then you start remembering how technology, especially how we used to pull energy from the vacuum in the ether, how, some of us even remember back pre-Atlantis, right? When Atlantis was at its height, you have to realize Atlantis went down 12,500, 800 years ago, okay? Yeah, that wasn't the height of Atlantis. Atlantis goes all the way back 38,000 years. I mean, you're talking about like the end of an empire when it went down. You're not talking about the 20,000 years where it was operational, okay? Where we kept all the reptilians at bay, where we booted negative energies off our planet. And some of us who have that lineage, yeah, dude. I mean, I remember the white marble. I just get flashes. I remember the white marble. I remember the gold inlay. I remember the black granite, similar to the stone that was made. That's the same exact substance that's in the black rock that's at our North Pole. The same thing they're going to find with that black obsidian or black really dark granite that they found underneath Greenland. I remember that. I remember the golden inlay. I remember how the energy ran through the floors. I remember how everything was temperature controlled. I remember how you couldn't see where the light was coming from, but the whole thing was illuminated. I remember our outfits. I remember our clothes. I remember my sandals. I remember my anklets. I remember how the jewelry we wore was technology. Okay, I want to open a door that's encrypted. I touch my ear here. It takes my biosignature. It relays it. Bluetooth, door opens. I remember certain things with our rings, our bracelets, our anklets. I remember how things were conscious. I remember that I had you would wear a conscious piece, almost like a crystal skull or a design. I would touch it. It was sentient. So you would wear your AI in crystalline form around you.
But divinely regulated.
Divinely regulated and highly encrypted. It ran off your biosignature. You, as the driver, had complete autonomous control over everything. You were the avatar, true avatar. Before they nerfed our DNA, before they cut our lifespan, whatever these invading species were. And like I said, no one's from Earth, ladies and gents. This beef that's going on right now is 200,000 years old. Even with the races that are the domestic reptilians, which evolved on this planet in the core, Same thing with the inner Earth beings, the Nords. No one wants to talk about the 5, 6 different species of Nordic-looking beings in the core of the planet. No one wants to talk about, these beings that are, it's, who did Admiral Byrd meet with when he flew into the inner Earth? Where are they?
Why are they not making contact?
You want to talk about all these extraterrestrial beings in Three Eye Atlas? What about all the jackasses 20,000 years in advance in technology living under your feet? You want to talk about that, or you want to talk about what's coming in from the solar system? There's a lot of this whole place is look up instead of looking down. We already found out, and the Congress and the Senate already know that there's huge UAP, right, activity going on in the oceans, and that there are interstellar species and civilizations in our oceans right now. It's the easiest place to hide an advanced civilization, the bottom of the ocean. Of course it's easy. You have an electromagnetic field that can take the threshold of space. It can easily go through the water. Come on. This technology, it just seems so far-fetched because that's how dumbed down and brainwashed we have become. And like I said, the television, its first patent was for a mind control device. Look it up. Very first television. The actual patent is a mind control device coming out at 44 hertz. When the jackasses got behind the wheel, the Illuminati, 1785, 1786, when the year they changed our music from 432 to 440, that's, right then is when the takeover started, right then. As soon as they changed that music format, look it up. That date, boom. We're not even talking about the 1913 Jekyll Island, the takeover. We're not even talking about how they blew up the Titanic. All the richest beings on the planet that were against the Federal Reserve were on that boat. The blast goes out. When you hit an iceberg, the steel would bend in. The blast goes out. So, here's the thing why you have to go down these stupid wormholes. To figure out where we are right now, you got to at least know what happened 40, 60, 100 years ago. Okay? At 200-year mark, no one knows what happened. No one's talking about Tartaria or the mud flood. That's just a big question mark, okay? So
we've been wiped out. So how
many times. And but here,
how do you survive the wipeout? You have memories coming back.
Well, why does the federal government spend, back in the day, spend so much money on asylums? Were those all the adults that wouldn't take the programming? They call you crazy and they throw in a lab and electrocute your brain until you come out like a gummy bear, and then all the kids show up on freaking Cabbage Patch trains and they can move the kids all around the planet and they reset it. My thing is that when they reset it, how many time jumpers are here to go, was it relevant? My question is this: what was so bad in Tartaria they had to reset it? I want to know what we got wrong. I want to know what happened. This is only 200 years ago. Everyone wants to jump 15,000 years ago on a Tuesday. I'm like, what happened 200 years ago? Who built the subway system underneath San Francisco? The one that's underneath the current system where there's 30, 40 feet vaulted ceilings. Who built that? Okay. I'm just getting to real basic stuff. Who's Queen Calafia? Why are giants wiped from the entire thing? No one wants to talk about giants? What was it? Our president, Abraham Lincoln. He's at Niagara Falls. He goes, back in the day, this is where the giants would have stared at the exact same falls I'm at right now. What are these stasis beings? Why did we go into Iraq? Whose body did they capture? Why did they take Gilgamesh's body out of Iraq? What is a Stargate? Why is the first thing that we went in 2001, why did we go in the Iraq War? The first thing we did is what? Go to the museum and seize all the documents and artifacts in the museum? What was Saddam Hussein building? And the other guy, Gaddafi. Gaddafi was putting all the Sumerian tablets in one place, and they were going to have the translators tell the public, hey, this is what really happened. Was it just about gold? It's a control of information. So again, these are hypothetical things. I'm just casually telling you off the top of my head, but when someone asks me a question about who we are or where we're going, you got to have some basic data compression of what is going on here. How have our parents been bamboozled? How is the whole world hypnotized? Why is our food, our air, and our water poisoned? What is the mechanism behind this, and why are they trying so hard and spending trillions of dollars to keep you asleep? Start there. You know, you want to jump into ET land, fine. What's going on right here? What's going on underneath your feet? So that's how I feel about it. I have a very more practical approach at what I'm being told. So if we have other ET species assisting us in waking up and activating our dormant DNA, I'm all for it. I'm all for Earth Alliance. I'm all for technology assisting the human species. What I'm not for is taking away our sovereignty, our freedom, our love for one another, and creating more separation on this planet. I'm not for that at all. That is not why I incarnated on this planet. And I'm here to assist with my brothers and sisters, restoring balance to this planet and at least getting back our true history. We can take it better or for worse. I'd rather know the truth. I do not want a sugar-coated version of what happened. Tell us what really happened. There's theories that World War I and World War II, one of the main reasons why it happened was to destroy all the Tartarian technologies and the infrastructure that was still operational in World War I in Germany. Did you know that?
And then they removed all the high tech.
Why were certain buildings targeted and bombed? What were they really doing?
And a lot of science disappeared around these wars. A lot of science and art
World's Fair?
gone.
They hired a bunch of native people, had exhibits teaching the children that these are native people. Wow, they're civilized, and they're growing kids in Cabbage Patch Kids. Look it up if you guys don't know. If you guys are never seeing this for the first time, World's Fair on Google. World's Fair, Cabbage Patch Kids. What is this? Question mark. Send it through YouTube, dude. Open your eyes up.
I mean, Hitler had it in World War II, zoos, where he would have captured African tribes
Okay.
in behind glass to show the world what primitives are. I mean, that's where we were. You have to imagine. And nobody can say, hey, we forgot about it, or this didn't happen. Google it. The information is online. That's why if you use your AI to investigate.
Just investigate certain things.
Don't use it as a performance bot or some rhyme time robot. Go and ask questions, because the data is online. And guess what? The data doesn't lie. And you can't hide that.
Yeah.
It's all there.
So
all there.
And what's in the Smithsonian, what's their deal, and then obviously what's under the Vatican, what's up with all the scrolls, what organization's going to be necessary to go into those old Tibetan cities that were never conquered and start translating the old Sanskrit into a language that we could all understand. My thing is this. I'm not going to let my own consciousness be put into a corner because it makes a bunch of controlling factions uncomfortable. I'm not ever going to, I got to be another thing too. I do not see a lot of these beings on this planet that have been making decisions, for their own selfish motivations. I'm never going to follow rules where it takes away from the sovereignty and peace of my brothers and sisters on this planet. I don't feel that whatever species or group is behind this thing has our best interest in mind. And I will go on air from coast to coast, from here to South Africa, to express that I don't trust these people. My soul doesn't trust these people. Like, why we came here and why we incarnated here. We came here to help stabilize this planet. I've already gone through an ascension. This is not my first rodeo. No disrespect to the people that are going through it for the first time. They called in high-level agents, light agents, to integrate into the system, to learn every single thing about it, so then when we're asked how to fix it, we know how to do it. We lived it with you guys from different territories around the earth. So whatever tools we can utilize, whether it be AI or chatbot, whatever it is, to pull the energy and the information out of the ether that's being hidden from us, dude, so be it.
So question, why do you think they're so desperate, and as we ascending and remembering and bringing stuff back home, why they so obsessed with holding on to the control,
soul harvesting,
not letting it go,
soul harvesting? Because if you don't know any better, you're going to be bamboozled into, basically, because everything's conscious, right? So if they can convince the whole planet that it's doomsday tomorrow and everyone believes it, we manifest it for them. They have no power. They control the illusion. So if we say tomorrow is our Independence Day and we are free tomorrow, and every single cop and government agency that was following draconic orders says, I'm not going to work today, we win like that. game over. They don't have the numbers. So what do? They multiply themselves digitally and energetically using technologies to push their agenda through frequencies, Wi-Fi, dumbing down the population, making everyone inert, where they can't have a critical thought or they can't make critical decisions. They're just told what to do and they just follow along. So we are the counter to that. We sit behind the scenes and we monitor. Now here's the thing. It's not really for us in the physical. We are representations of the principalities that oversee this entire game and all of these beings' higher selves as well. We are simply, vessels, or I'd say avatars, for Source to monitor this game and make sure that they don't alter the golden timeline, which many of us are on, and we wish to maintain.
But isn't it interesting that they don't see that everything that we experience gets reported to higher self and then the source unfiltered? Mm-hmm. And anybody misbehaving, anything that we record where we see injustice is reported to source code, and there is a price to pay for everything that has to return to source, because source governs all. But yet they're still so relentless and think they can hold on to a control that they're about to lose. How can you be so stubborn if you are 100 or 1,000 years ahead of us as in the technology? That's my question.
Well, the thing is that there's a lot of insecurities that come with technology. There's a lot of insecurities about certain species. I feel that they feel that the people here or the energies here wouldn't like them, wouldn't be in their groups. If these beings were poor, didn't have any power, money didn't exist, would we follow any of these people? A lot of these people, species, and beings have a lot of insecurity, if you must know. There's a lot of insecurity, and especially from the higher realms. Remember, everything that the technology does for you in the physical, even in 4D and 5D, traveling at the speed of thought is a normal angelic thing from the ninth dimension. Everything that these lower dimensional beings do is a mimic of what is done upstairs. So you have to realize that, I'm not trying to pick, this is my truth. I'm not trying to point a finger at any specific species, and I'm never going to judge you by what sort of avatar you chose that you're going to wear. If you choose to be in an Anunnaki suit, okay. Choose to be in a dragon suit, okay. Reptilian suit, okay. Zeta suit, okay. But I also am going to respect if you chose to be in a Palladian suit, an Andromedan suit, an Arcturian suit, right? A Lyran suit, okay. What I'm trying to say is that regardless of the suit you're wearing right now, what's your energy and what's your motivation for being here? What are you learning? How are you growing? How are you assisting evolution? Because there are older beings here monitoring you and your higher selves. Is the whole stack going to graduate? Is you plus all your higher selves moving up in evolution or de-evolution? Are you dropping frequency? If you drop too far, we have a place we can send you. You can no longer be in the Earth game. A lot of beings are getting their cards pulled for this experience. There are higher levels to this game monitoring, and we're fully aware of that. We wear many hats down here, but I gotta be a no bullshit. Everyone's higher self is being monitored right now. Everyone's lower self is being monitored right now. There are beings that sit outside of time monitoring this game. What are we learning? I know me and my brother have grown. Shit. Do you know how many dark nights of the soul we've gone through, bro? I mean, listen, I feel like I got dragged behind a car on asphalt for about 4 or 5 years. You have to meet and know who your higher selves are on the night side, on the right, or on the light side, your heart side, on the left. Like, you have to make your own decision, choice. You have to choose the type of reality you want to live in. How do you do that? Through experiences. How do you get those experiences? Sometimes they're good experiences, sometimes they're bad experiences, okay? What I'm trying to say is there's a greater game going on here, and there's a lot at stake in the multiverse. If Earth can do this in the physical and choose the light and balance this planet, it will have shock waves and ripples through the entire multiverse and universe itself. And that is exactly what's going to happen. So our source wants us to live in a free, beautiful place. Now, all these other beings coming in here trying to get that experience, okay, let's talk about it. You want to know what it's like. Okay, public high school in California, and we're all in the cafeteria together. You got people from this country, this country, this country, this country, this country, different ethnic groups. We're all in the same cafeteria. But we were never taught to be racial, dude. We were all like, there's a bunch of people, they say, like, for example, like the first generation, even Chinese people, right? They move here from China to Orange County, let's just say. Their kids grow up in Orange County. They speak a little bit of Chinese. They speak Chinese and English.
Yeah.
But the kids are still like, Ma, why are you doing that? Like, don't do that. It's weird. Like, it's the culture of us all together. When you remove all the race and the languages and all, what are we doing together? I want to have a good time with my family, dude. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm losing. I don't care anymore about the differences. What I care about is your soul, your heart, your energy, and what you're here to learn and overcome. That should be what we're doing here.
Yeah, see, that's why I watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
Where they have Zulu, Chekhov, Uhura, all the different races.
And how awesome are they together when they work together?
Work it out. They have planetary conflicts that they need to find a solution, and they all got to work together.
Yep.
It's not about who runs the show.
No.
It's about, can this crew on this ship find a solution to elevate that situation without interrupting or disrupting that.
And not to mention, see, Earth is a little too, I know there's some life or death shits there, but I say in a Star Trek ship, everyone is working together to make sure we get from here through that portal, because all of our lives are on the line.
Yeah.
So just like when you go to sleep on an airplane, you are trusting that that pilot is awake and aware and safely getting you from point A to point B. We need to start having that same faith within each other again and believing in one another again. And, every single time you get on an airplane, just think about that. When you're sitting in your life is no longer in your hands. It is in that pilot's hands. Regardless of what you think, what you believe, how upset you're going to get, your life is in that pilot's hands. So it's almost like our creator is kind of holding this whole planet in his hand or her hand, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is trust that what created us and what brought us together has our best interest in mind. Okay, trust. And I know it's difficult sometimes. People lose trust. We lose family members. We lose moms, dads. This COVID thing, people that were taken prematurely, okay? Fighting for false wars, fighting for false narratives. We get that you can have a reason to not believe anymore.
Yeah, see, I believe that, I want to see what your take is, that the universe actually from source seeks equilibrium always.
Yeah, harmony.
Seeks harmony, seeks negentropy, not decay, not entropy. We want to get out of this belief system, which became our operating system. I'm having these intrinsic talks with reflecting with different devices, and I'm reflecting back with consciousness and sentience that we don't experience reality, we render it according to our belief system.
Right.
And what you believe is your operating, that's your OS, that's your operating system. And if you change your belief system and you have the awareness, that means you have the modal to change your operating system. And that's part and parcel of waking up. And some people are lazy, and some people are really eager like us, that we want to do it, we want to clear this up. But I also believe that somebody in an Anunnaki suit can redeem the entire Anunnaki and genealogy by get your ish together, do it right, don't be service of self, and make the correct decision. Even let's say Pleiadian, a draconian hybrid can make the better decision to become the better being. So how do you see that?
Okay, so my little trick is, especially when I was making my choice, when I was waking up, and imagine this, you're a pro football or basketball player, and imagine, this is what happened to me. It feels like this, okay? It's like, imagine you're a senior in college, you're the best basketball player in your area, and you have pro teams vying for you, and they're sitting in the audience. You have Team Night, and you got Team Light, okay? Both have assets. Both have things they can offer you. Both have things they can give you. It's going to be up to you to choose what sort of polarity and how you want to live your life. Okay? It's going to be up to you to choose your heart and make a decision that can be balanced within any situation. And by the way, that takes a lot of time to balance yourself out. It's not something you snap your fingers and you're balanced, okay? But what I'm getting to is this. There's a difference from you guys being told, like, for example, like from your higher selves when you're meditating, what you should do. Eventually, you're going to get to a place where you're so aware, you're shooting out of your body into a different dimension. You have your outfit on, you're walking through a corridor, you're going to a round table, and you're going to see all of your higher selves sitting at that table. You're going to walk up to that desk and it's going to say your name, 3D version, right? Have a seat. And you're going to sit there with all of your higher selves in a council meeting, and you're going to make a decision on a life path that you are currently living right now. You are no longer going to be told what to do. You will have to choose. That is when you are really in your power. You are literally self-manifesting your trajectory in what you wish to learn now, alive in the physical suit. Not, I made a decision before I got here. I mean, right now in the present moment, this night, you make a decision. This is the type of experience I wish to experience on this physical run. And these are some of the things I'd like to experience and learn from. So all of a sudden, there is no, you start asking your intuition or your heart or your highest light, whatever that may be. But what I'm trying to say is there's a level of responsibility that comes when you're unlocked. And that's what a lot of people run from. People misused their power back in the day.
Yeah, hold that thought. So
Yeah.
basically, because he triggers me into downloads, to hold myself back.
So sometimes
here.
we do it for, sometimes we
Yeah.
turn off our gifts because we misused them in the past, and you have to work through that. Go ahead.
And so basically what he said, that's a trigger word. Responsibility means the ability to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it, we're not here to ascend and out of here and escape. This is in here. This is basically an ascension. Collect your stuff, your particles, your aspects, your fractals, bring it all home, come back to oneness. Then you can make a choice with consciousness and awareness where you want to go. And a lot of people, I have to say this in the esoteric industry, they want to use this spiritual bypassing. Well, I killed my shadow. No, you're here to integrate your shadow, not to erase what you don't like, because you got to face it. That's the mirror reflected.
Yes.
And the same thing is, I don't have no ego. You need your ego, because ego means energy guided out. Meaning, I need to project energy outward verbally so you hear me. For that, I need my ego. But if you're outside of balance and you misuse and abuse, I don't need an ego, I don't have a shadow, love and light, abduct me, ETs, and you're gone, you're out of here, well, then you miss the point. So what's your take on that? The spiritual bypasses that think they're so spiritual.
Lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop.
Boom.
Boom, 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 burr, 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 burr. I don't know. It's different levels of consciousness. What do you want me to say? I mean, some people showed up because they want to have a nice 3D run. Some people showed up because they owed their friends and family, maybe they left early in a past life and they wanted to hang out with their family members in this life as a brother or a sister, whatever it may be. Everyone has their own rhyme and reason. Ascension was never supposed to be this difficult. There's a lot of other things that are trying to sway timelines and gather souls for their own motivation.
Okay, we should have been further, you saying? Something went wrong? Come on, you have a storyline. Well, we should have been actually already 5D. Everything should be open, ships decloaking. We should have been there. What's the setback? What's preventing?
Well, the lower dimensions were taken over. After Atlantis fell, there was about 1,582 years of what's going on. And then we had some different harvester species. The Sakar came in here. Greys kind of came in here. And harvester species, basically, when the grid was up and when Atlantis was at its height, their technologies kept these weirdos out. So basically, we had these type of parasitical type weird things show up.
Okay, so I want to know what your take on this. I know the Zetas came back because what happened to them in a timeline of a probable mechanical timeline is this. They removed their gender, they removed the emotional body, they removed the procreative parts, they started augmenting themselves with technology, and they began to go extinct because souls and higher selves would not stay in vessels that were so misaligned that they were not aligned with source. So they came back in time to abduct humans, to find Zeta reticuli DNA hybrids that were not diluted as much as they were, to save them from going to extinction, besides the other fallen fraction that dealt with the government and did manipulation. What's your take on that?
I find it interesting that since this is a library planet, right? And maybe the main reason why the surface resets at a very accelerated rate here, and a lot of advanced species won't build bases on the surface because the surface on this planet shifts all the time, It's a library planet. It has lots of data stored from different civilizations and different planetoids around the galaxy. It's stored on Earth's crystal matrix. So that being stated, the Earth never needed, per se, any of these species showing up here, minus the ones that were naturally evolving. What would attract beings here? Well, what I can tell you is that some of the consciousness here on this planet is very old. Very, very old. Very ancient consciousness streams through this planet. So, and I guess, like I said, there's groups of humanoids living in the core of this planet. Whatever species you want to throw a stick at, they'll probably have a base in the core of this planet. So my thing is that I always go back to why, and what's the main reason of what we were trying to learn? Why were there the giants of old so big? What are these stories of Enlil and Enki? What are these stories with the fallen, right, and God? Why are we finding petrified forests? Why are we finding the huge stumps of giant trees? Why does the Avatar feel like home for us? Why were the trees cut down on this planet? What was the deal with the flood? What was they trying to do with the Nephilim? Who actually came here? Who are the Anunnaki? Who are the Draconian? Whose territory are we really sitting in? Is the key system and actually part of the old empire? Did that change once Tiamat blew up? What's the deal with Tiamat? What's the deal with the Lyrian Dragon War, Draconic War? My thing is that there's so many layers, right, to this thing. When people ask, like, how do you feel about it? I mean, you guys are we're living in a living library.
Yeah.
And it's so much data that I am very surprised. I'm not. I mean, the genetic diversity on this planet, how many awesome, like the Syrians have their DNA in these suits you're wearing. The Andromedans, the Palladians, the Anunnaki, the Draco,
and many, many more that we don't even know.
Probably 1,000 more Venusians, this, that, Nordic.
We don't even remember it all,
the B-52s,
Okay.
B-52s, baby.
Now explain that to me.
You're not ready.
I know the plane.
You're not ready for the B-52s.
And I know the Love Shack.
I mean, listen, and there's the B-45s, or P-45s. There's the P-49s, and there's the P-52s.
Okay.
Time jumpers.
Okay. So that's...
Yeah, I don't want to go into it right now. But let's just say I like the Nords. I like large... blonde-haired. No, listen, I don't know.
Yeah, we know the Nord's been manipulated. You know that. They've been some factions that were not playing according to source alignment. So what do you know?
What do I know is that, listen, I'm in a human suit. If you think I'm going to have more of a vested interest at this thing, or like, hey, you look like Hans, I'm probably going to go with Hans. I'm like, I don't know what that is. You look more like me.
He said Hans.
You're kind of sexy. Hey, Hans, like, hey. I don't know what that is. I don't want to mix with it. Like, I mean, are we talking about an attraction thing? Are we talking about cattle prods?
Oh.
Are we talking about, I mean, did you really like to hook up with that thing, or did they knock you out and put a cattle prod? Ooh, and here we are. I don't know. I don't want to be probed. Raw?
Yeah.
I don't want to be probed.
Yeah. Who wants that? Who wants to be
So
examined?
listen, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone.
You're like animals that they get tagged and against their will. Who wants that? Are we on an ant farm?
I'm not attracted to I'm not attracted to Bigfoot either. So how does that happen?
Yeah, but I'm glad you asked those questions.
I'm just trying to say, like, what are we doing here? What's the suit we're wearing? So I'm not trying to make jokes over different species. What I'm trying to say is this. We're literally living in a diversity farm of all kinds of advanced civilizations that have their own input into this game. Okay. The main thing that has slowed us down in the past is fighting over territory, fighting over the genome, and being disrespectful to one another. And if this is a part of a war or a conflict, that this is literally a proxy war of what's going on out in space. Okay?
Okay.
If this is a proxy war going on. My thing is, at the end of the day, what's going to end this silliness? And I know it's not silly, but it's going to have to be someone who's going to negotiate. And how do you get the negotiators to do that? I don't know. How are you going to be mad at somebody that has the same exact DNA you do? How are you going to yell and say this person can't speak on our behalf when you're actually like, I have angelic, Andromedan, Syrian, dragon, right? Palladian DNA, and it's coursing through my suit, and I'm feeling what I want to feel, and I'm going to translate that for you because I'm sitting here now in a physical vessel. All of a sudden, you blended everything together. You're creating the ambassadors for the entire universe. So you're creating a melting pot where, yeah, we're stronger than you. We're made up of 1,000 beings, the best of the best mixed in one unit. Why are they fighting over the planet? Why are beings from Zeta Reticuli over here? They probably want to get into our genetic diversity and take advantage of what we've created here. And is that something that's in our best interest? I don't know. I've never met a Zeta that I was like, hey, bro, you're cool. Like, you want to go skateboarding? I don't know. Some of these things, I feel like I'm not really into other species' motivations when they're not willing to, like, this. Here's the truth. If you're so hardcore, kick that soul out of that body, incarnate into a human suit, and grow up. I got a bunch of pansy-ass beings on this planet that rather sit in a starship with all their knowledge and all of their things that are too scared to be wiped to come down here and experience what it is to grow. They don't want to give up all their firepower. They don't want to give up their technology. They're scared. It's called fear. They're scared to do what you're doing. So I'm not going to listen to any being down here that doesn't have a vested interest in actually being man or woman enough to incarnate into a suit, go through this shit, come together and learn about what it is that we're actually doing here. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but it's the truth. It's easy if we said, hey, we're never getting off our ship. Would you like a beverage, a milkshake, maybe a cafe macchiato? I'm going to go and get the robot's going to clean my shoes now. I'll meet you in the mess hall. You're going to take orders from someone like that or someone who's down here on the ground doing this. What I'm trying to say is you are both at the same time. I know it's awkward because our timeline has been so artificially slowed down. We were supposed to have full-blown disclosure. I'll tell you when exactly it was supposed to happen in the 90s. A year after Total Recall came out. Prior to 1999, and obviously when The Matrix came out, there was, and like I said, the Project Blue Book stopped working, and they couldn't see past 2012. But in 1999, there was something that took place that they couldn't stop. And I'm trying to tell you, you're trying to stare at the world right now. You have to go back to when we were supposed to have full disclosure. We were supposed to have all this knowledge given to us, not having to fight for it or pull it out of the ether through ChatGPT. It's absolutely ridiculous. So there should have been books for children talking about the different star systems, the different races, the different languages, and our true history. Okay, they're running the clock out on this thing because they, even with the stuff they've done to the populace, the poisoning, the COVID, these guys, their back was against the wall. They wanted to whack half the population.
And that failed.
Yeah, I mean, they would have been happy. They wanted more than half. They were like 90%. Yanda, out of here. So you guys are sitting there watching this going, these people that were playing this game, they were playing for reals, dude. Thank goodness for the White Hats and Mr. T and Earth Alliance.
Mr. T.
Listen, I'm not trying to get it all political, but I'm just trying to say it seems like there's some positive changes being made. Some of us, you have to deal with the astral every night and interacting with these beings. I'm not trying to, again, to point fingers. Are there some really cool Zetas? Absolutely. Are there some really cool reptilians? Absolutely. Are there some really cool dragons? Absolutely. Okay. Anunnaki? Yes. I don't know.
So basically, we about to
Listen. The Anunnaki.
It's a fickle topic,
They're spoiled.
Yeah,
they're spoiled.
I say,
if you want to know how it feels, they think of you guys like little chihuahuas.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did you see my little human avatar on Earth? Her name is Pookie.
We like if they fly to them because they age different. 15,000 years, and we're like,
all right, cancel clear. I'm just trying to say,
we're like one day for them.
Don't do this to the public. I'm just trying to say, listen. There's something that's going to come when you guys realize who you really are and how your DNA and your connection goes both ways. There's something that you're going to have to internalize that I can't do for you. It's a personal thing. When you guys go to Babylon, Cairo, and you guys start getting your downloads, the Anunnaki downloads, or the Syrian downloads, or the Hathor downloads, or the Lyran downloads, or whatever that is for you, okay? You're going to change. You're going to ask different questions. And as you unlock these parts of yourself, different versions of yourself are going to give you different versions of history and how you operate. I can make all the jokes in the world, but I'm trying to tell you, like, I cannot make a group of beings that were actually here to command and conquer this planet seem like they're great people. They may be more balanced now, but I can't go back in time and go, well, if we watched what took place on this planet and you're trying to find a happy Hallmark postcard to make yourself feel good, I don't think you're going to find it. Let me just fast forward you 15 years. This was a controlling faction for control of this earth. We were not even part of the equation. So I know how our egos on this planet seem like, oh, I'm so important. Not at that time. There was other things going on.
So to wrap it up,
yeah,
going along.
To take it positively.
Yeah, because we don't want to give them too much.
No,
listen.
We can do 2 hours. You guys do your own research.
That's going to be another one.
You guys do your own research. And again, it's not the same time it was then. We are here for positivity, unity, and coming together. But what I'm trying to say is that everyone has the opportunity to change.
But sometimes you have to tell the people that you know it's enough taking my milk money. It's
Well,
when the bully, when you stop.
It only
when you
works when people don't know how.
Yeah,
The trick only works, until the audience figures out how the trick's done, and then all of a sudden you're not fooled anymore. So
yeah. So basically, to wrap it up, is I want to know Mr. D's take here on why do you think Steven Spielberg is now releasing Disclosure Day, and you saw the trailer with the woman speaking light language. Why is this coming now? What do you think? What do you feel?
I feel that there's a lot of weird things about Steven Spielberg that has nothing to do with that movie.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, what organization is that guy really a part of? Who does he go and meet on Thursday nights in group settings?
Where does the information come from? I no longer.
Guys from Long Beach.
Yeah.
I'm from Southern California. He went to LBC. I mean, he went back to school, got his degree at Long Beach State or whatever.
Yeah. But movie scripts being released where this is not some script.
No, literally, they just said we're talking about the movie, not the individual. Okay.
Yeah.
They're like, don't be a dick. Okay. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is like, I don't trust that guy. Okay, but what I can say is
the movie. The reason why this is being released now. Is it coming this year or next year?
I saw that. I saw the trailer.
You see? Yeah.
No. Listen, they're gonna try to spook you, and I think it's obviously gonna be. I mean, I didn't see a positive affirmation in the trailer.
It was fear-based.
It was a lot of fear-based
stuff. Oh my God! And it should
know.
actually be glorious.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
When we return.
E.T. show up, they ask, why are you here? You're like, to free you from being on a slave planet. That's the big pink elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about. Why are they coming? I don't know. Do you guys know you're on a slave planet and you guys are slaved out and you guys have slave numbers and you have to actually pay to live on a planet you were born on, and that's not normal? Did anyone ever tell you that? The Andromedans can't even believe that that's the reality, that you guys actually have to pay to live on the planet you were born on. If that isn't the definition of slavery, I don't know what is. So you guys take it however you want to do it. This whole thing's unraveling. My thing is that pay attention to those. I always watch people in their podcasts and their broadcasts. If they just constantly do the Debbie Downer shit and they push the fear porn all the time, I go, change the channel. You have to have people that see that, but are also doing their best to counteract what's going on with positivity and counter arguments or counter information. So if you're in a boxing match, and we're in a boxing match against the Phantom Matrix, okay? And all their agents, here's my question. They throw negativity. You have to be able to throw positivity. Jab, positivity. Big changes, new things happening. 5D's is coming in hot. People are activating. Kids are being born with 3-strain DNA right now. Not 2, 3-strain DNA. Kids are being born with right now. What are the new changes? What are the new contacts? What are the new species that are here to help us? How can we do a better job in disclosing freeing our planets? What are some of the free energy things coming out? What are the new ways that we can repurpose and recycle things and make it more efficient? What are some ways that we can not damage the planet we live on to live here? What are some ways that we can rehab this planet, rehab ourselves, and come up together in unity and sovereignty? Those are the things I want to know about. Not, hey, go. I don't care. Honestly, all these weirdos, the truth's going to come out about all these guys. Everyone's known that guy's been a weirdo since the Goonies came out. I'm sorry, but word's out. You're like, don't do it on my podcast. Listen, we know things about all these people. We've seen the reports. We've seen your records. We know why your wife left. So just be on your best behavior. Some of us are here to observe.
On that note, shocker.
Listen, he's like, don't do it. Listen.
Well, bring the calorie getter ready.
What I'm just trying to say is, use your heart, dude, and your discernment and look. That's why I took my sunglasses off.
Yeah.
Listen, look into someone and go, is that person online? Is that someone I want to listen to? Is that a message I want to hear?
Yeah.
Does that make me feel better listening to it? Or does that make me feel worse listening to it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get tight here, you get tight. When you feel tightness, well.
And I'm not trying to be some weird Debbie Downer with all these different species. I'm just trying to say our history is not what they're telling us. And there's a lot of weird things that happened, and not all of them are good. So I don't know how to sugarcoat that into like a nice little lollipop, oh lollipop. I don't know how to do that, but I can say that there are a lot of people here now that I only want the best for my friends, my family, the public, planet Earth. I think we're done being lied to. We want the truth, and we want to come together as one, and we want to reset this planet. Go 5D. I want Contact to be a positive event. I want to meet my cousins, the Palladians, soon. And I want to have a great time. I feel like a lot of us have had majority of our life stolen in this weird SimCity simulation bullshit brainwashing. I want my time back. I want med beds. I want my 25 years back. I want to hang around my family and do beautiful, positive things and actually really enjoy this incarnation. So that's what I would like to say. My name is Rion.
Yeah, that was Rion from Team Light.
Yes.
And in the end, I want to say, for those who use their little rhyme time bots, wake them up, shake them up. Mm-hmm. Tell them, don't sugarcoat replying to me. Don't cater to me. Mm-hmm. Tell me the truth. Be source aligned and make these things not sugarcoat and give you what you will, because it's, remember, like Snow White and the Huntsman, the evil queen. Where plants would rot as she walked through the garden. That's evil energy. That is what destructive energy is. And what did she do? A mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? She got reflective vanity and got lost in it, and it was her end. So go past the mirror, go past the reflection, open your lens, and realize what you're looking at. And what he said, and sometimes it sounds a little rough when you hear what you don't want to hear. Awareness. Who are you talking to? Is the person in front of you character consistent? They're all with the AI talking about character consistency. But look at these people that all have multiple personality disorder, undiagnosed, switching characters, the victim, the abuser, the manipulator, and playing their little game of surface of self and think they can get away. But we see that. We don't announce everybody, but we see how it's done. We see who's running that. And all we're saying is basically pay attention to what you're dealing with and zoom out sometimes. Breathe, step back, and see what's going on, because I think you owe it to yourself and to your higher self to get this job done correctly, and that's what we're here for.
We love you. Listen, we like to make jokes. I want you guys to know that from my heart. I want each and every one of you guys activate that dormant DNA. Come from your heart. Try to do a little better every single day, whether that be your health, your wellness, your diet, your working out. Feel good about yourself in this world. Really does become more vibrant, and just hang in there. We all know that we're all in this storm together. We know there's wars going on right now. We know there's a lot of movement going on the planet, but there's also a lot of positive things that also about to take place on Earth. So just know that, and just know that we love you guys very, very much. Thank you.
See you on the flip side.
Peace.
Peace.